Amber Heard, someone who I've actually kind of avoided talking about. Even in my movie talk days, I talked about Ezra Miller, I talked about Jonathan Majors, but for some reason, I was always cautious about the Amber Heard Johnny Depp thing because to me, I always said, look, there's a court trial, let's just wait till then. Instead, you had people making entire careers out of it. But today, I'm going to talk a little bit about it. There's this entire article I talked mainly about on my second channel where they announced that the Justice wasn't coming back, anything, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to ignore a lot of that DC stuff, but I did want to make a specific video for the main channel about the Amber Heard stuff. If you want to hear my thoughts on the rest of that article that talked about the Justice League being replaced and all that, second channel talked about Ezra Miller getting fired, which is a major W in my opinion. Look, as long as we get criminals off here, let's get them there. But anyways, Amber Heard, from the article, what it said was she talking to a therapist. Now, this is a very careful thing because this isn't something she came out publicly. This was something that a therapist had in their books. Now, Variety is very reliable when it comes to movie stuff. I know that because I covered movie news for like nearly 3 whole years. So I feel like I got to learn a lot about which are the reliable sources, which aren't. Variety was one of them. Now, when it comes to more personal stuff like this, you do have to be very careful, but it does seem likely. So what she talks about is how James Wan, she felt disrespected by James Wan at one point. The studio wanted her fired, but Elon Musk came in and saved her. Not even joking. The article actually says Elon Musk wrote a letter saying, hey, you keep Amber or something bad's going to happen. And then apparently at one point, and this is a big part, Jason Momoa, bro. And by the way, I would do the same. Because this literally feels like a Gideon move that Jason Momoa pulled. But he came in one day dressed as Johnny Depp. Now, to be fair, when I think of how Johnny Depp dresses, I can only imagine like a suit with no tie. It's just a collar that's open, and then a big ponytail, and then a mustache. That's all I can think of Johnny Depp. So that doesn't feel unique. And Momoa already has long hair. So to me, when I'm thinking of him, because I need to look at a picture, like, is it like obviously like being Johnny Depp? But again, I don't know Depp enough to really say what he looks like besides ponytail, tux for some reason, no tie, and open. I don't know. I mean, he's dressed. Jason Momoa dresses like that in Fast X. But anyways, so there's a couple of things I want to talk about. One of them was the James Wan thing. I guess we'll go into them step by step. Now, first, I guess I got to talk about the trial thing. And I said this from the beginning. Every time I was asked about the Amber Heard Johnny Depp thing, I said it looks like it's a shitty relationship in which both of them are just shitty for each other. And in a shit sling competition, nobody wins. Shit just gets thrown on each other. And so that's what it felt like with Johnny and Amber. How although the one issue that Amber did, and this is the thing a lot of Amber Heard supporters aren't understanding, Amber Heard actually ruined Johnny Depp's career. She went out of her way to play the victim card. She pretended to be innocent. And doing all that, it got revealed, yeah, she ain't innocent. She did a lot of bad things. She at one point shat on the freaking pillow of Johnny. There's obviously that clip of her punching Johnny and her saying, oh, stop being a little baby and all that. Which, by the way, Johnny, why are you letting a woman punch you? And because I've been punched by women, but they're soft punches. Like, no disrespect to them. I know there's strong women out there, but the women I've always been with, and they play fight with me, the fighting never is strong. Like they slap. I don't know. Let me ignore that. That's too personal what I'm bringing up. But it got confirmed that Amber obviously wasn't innocent. And during the trial of defamation, it was proven that Amber did defame Johnny's career. And that's what pisses me off about Amber. Johnny's not innocent in this. But what he is innocent is on Amber lying and then all this coming out, because in a relationship like that, it was never going to work. Johnny and Amber was never going to work. Now, I've never had the experience of something as bad as that kind of. Luckily, I thank God I've never had something like that. But I've had negative relationships where it came to a point where it's not that I'm bad or she's bad. Usually it's because we just don't match, because certain people don't mesh in. We don't mix in together, and that's just society. The same thing happens with friendship. Sometimes in friendship, certain friends, either you grow out of that phase and you are no longer friends with that person, or you both aren't compatible. This even happens in family. Sometimes in family, there's a certain family member that you just can't be around anymore because there's a certain type of compatibility amongst each other. This happens all the time, whether it's the workplace, whether it's personal. And the same thing happened with Amber and Johnny, except theirs became a public thing. I feel like most people, or not most people, but a lot of people have gone through relationships that are similar to Johnny and Amber's. Maybe not as close to that, but I think something similar like that. But the issue is that Amber made it this spectacle, and in trying to make it a spectacle, it's almost like an Uno reverse card on her. And that's why I have no respect for Amber. You did shitty things, then played the victim card. I don't play with that shit. If you yourself aren't a victim, don't act like a victim. I know nowadays it's, oh, I'm a victim, my race, my gender. I know that's the new popular thing to do now, but I don't give a fuck, bro. Okay? Why would you deliberately ruin another man's life just because you want to look cool? Oh, because that is true. Amber gained a bit of popularity just for being a victim, and that just happens all the. How many times do you see a victim just get popular off of being a victim? Like that gets a bit annoying. But at one point in the therapy session or whatever, she says something about James Wan raising her voice. She said that she felt like it said that she couldn't take pictures with them. She couldn't promote the movie at all. Although now with the actors strike, she can't promote it even if she wanted to. And how she felt like everyone was almost like guilt tripping her. She said that at one point she apologized to James Wan. And I will admit, if because the thing is, heading into Aquaman 2, all this stuff was already going on. I don't know how she is surprised by it. Because to me, I wouldn't be like a bitch to her, but I would not show her respect. Like, I wouldn't, like, to me, you try to fuck up someone's life. And to me, I feel like if I was in that position, I'd be like, kind of like, yeah, bro, I don't vibe with you. I don't fuck with you. And everyone who knows me here on this channel knows that I don't fuck with someone who's deliberately selfish enough to where they want to fuck up somebody else's life or reputation. I've had moments like that on YouTube in and of itself, at least once or twice or three times really, where something like that's happened and I stood my ground saying, yeah, I don't deal with that shit. To me, that's way too far. Way too far. And especially in today's Me Too modern culture of women, oh, believe all women are victims. To me, I'm very cautious when it comes to that kind of stuff. So I don't see anything wrong with the things James Wan did. First of all, you don't want. First of all, I always thought it was stupid. Why did you keep Amber? Because I can get being like, look, because because what happened was they fired Johnny Depp from Fantastic Beast, but they kept Amber Heard for Aquaman around the same time. Now I get fire Johnny Depp, cool. You don't want to be a part of it, cool. But I feel like if you really wanted to establish not being part of it at all, because that's what I would have done. I would have just said, Johnny, look, I apologize to you, but I can't have you here. Please don't be here. Don't be in this movie. We respect your time, but move on. I would have said the same thing to Amber. We respect you for what you did for the first movie. That first movie was a big success, but we're going to move on because we just don't want to be a part of that. That's what I would have done. And I think any rational person would have done that. So to me, it's like, Amber, why are you surprised that this is happening to you when you're the one that chose to do all this? Look, you got the perks, you got the rewards of being the victim. Now that you ain't anymore, don't be surprised that people are upset at you that you went around playing the victim card, and then we found out that you really weren't a victim at all. Sure, you were a victim of circumstance, but so was Johnny. So was Johnny. So there's that. And I'm not saying she can't redeem herself from that. Like, I do believe you can redeem yourself. Like, none of them went to prison. They still have a life ahead of themselves. It's obviously redeemable. They're young. Actually, I don't know if they're. I mean, Amber, I think, is under 40 probably. So she's still young enough to where she's got money. She can go live her life wonderfully. But she says something about how James raised her voice at her, how she didn't like anything. Look, to me, if I'm James, first of all, raising your voice at someone at a job place, that's normal. Why is it that people nowadays are like, you can't yell at me, I feel sensitive? No, that's just a normal thing. If you can't handle that, bro, then you shouldn't be complaining, bro. That happens at every job. Every job I've had moments where the boss yelled at me. I mean, growing up, my parents would yell at me anytime I did something stupid, because the thing is, yelling is the way to get someone's attention. You're not just gonna be like, oh, hey, don't do that bad thing. Don't do that bad thing. No, you're gonna have to speak up so that the other person can understand what you mean. When you're mad at a dog, you're not like, "Hey boy, please don't poop inside the house." No, you're like, "Bad boy, don't poop inside the box, or not the box, inside the house. Don't do that." Like you yell because that's the way to get attention. You're not gonna be like, "Hey, I'm sorry. Please don't do anything bad. Please don't." No, you're gonna be like, "Nah, bitch. Nah, don't do that. Don't do that shitty thing." That's what you do. So I have no problems with James Wan and everything. Now let's get into the Elon Musk thing. I assume Elon dated Amber. I remember he released a picture of them. It was like a picture of them, and she was wearing like some sort of cosplay that she wore for him. I get Elon has all that power, but I guess that's a separate. I guess Warner Bros. Really just felt the pressure from Elon because Elon, of course, one of the richest men in the world. I don't know if Elon. I mean, I guess they're in good terms, but that's another reason why people would be pissed at you because Juan probably wanted to move away from that. Warner. Now that's the explanation. Now that's the good thing. Now we have an explanation why they kept her because to me it was always like there's no beneficial reason to keep Amber. None at all. More people were on Johnny's side than Amber throughout those recent years. And to me, I'm happy that there's an answer. Now we know the truth that Elon threatened them. But I wonder why even Elon tried to. Like I can get Warner Bros. Feeling under the pressure, but if I'm Amber and I had to depend on a billionaire defending me, I would probably move away from that. Now she got her paycheck. I guess that's all that mattered for her because this might have been her final paycheck for any movie. But the one thing I would say is, Amber, you can't be surprised that the cast and the crew are mad at you, wanted you gone, but because of your billionaire boyfriend, they couldn't do shit about it. Of course they're gonna be pissed at you because they didn't want you to work. They thought someone else was better for the job. So don't be fucking surprised, bro. Don't be surprised. I personally would have walked in there. You know what I would have done? I would have walked in there and said, "Hey, I know none of you motherfuckers want me here, but hey, I'm here to pick up my bag and leave. Get the fuck out of there. I only gotta do this for 6 months? Cool, boom, let's fucking do that." Like that's what I would do. Like I'd be swimming in that money, bro. That's life changing money right there. Actually, I don't know how big her contract is, but considering the first Aquaman movie made $1 billion, I'm pretty sure that she made good money off of Aquaman 2. Um, and then the last thing was the Jason Momoa thing, where he came in dressed as Johnny Depp at one point. He came in drunk. He kept constantly wanting Amber Heard removed from the film. Now, it is something that seems obvious, especially from the trailers. A lot of her scenes got removed. Apparently, two scenes. One where she was in love, making love with Arthur in the movie, that got removed. At one point, she fights Black Manta. Apparently, those scenes both were removed from the film. I don't care. Look, the reality is, I really think Aquaman 2 is not going to make money. I think it'll make more than The Flash, honestly. But the only reason why I think it'll make more than The Flash is because the first Aquaman did do $1 billion. It saved DC for a while. But I don't care about that. What I do care is I don't mind Amber having been removed from the movie that much. I think that was obvious. To me, it's just annoying that it felt like Warner Bros. And by the way, Warner Bros. Is not innocent. They kept Ezra Miller even after all the bullshit. They should have probably stood their ground against Elon Musk. But now it is nice to see the answer that it was Elon that wanted Amber to stay on the project, which I think ultimately I think it was shitty because now Amber talks about how she felt shitty during the Aquaman 2. Yeah, that's now Elon's fault. That's Elon's fault now. That's not anyone else's fault. That was his own fault. And so, I mean, it's good to get the answers. It's just kind of like, it's weird the way things went out. I think Aquaman 2 was a very awkward shooting. I don't know how they did it, but did Jason Momoa cross the line? Because some people were saying, "Oh, Momoa crossed the line. Momoa crossed the line." No, I didn't think so. He trolled, made a joke. Now I get the joke is a very serious thing, but at the same time, Amber Heard, if you didn't want the joke to be out there, you probably shouldn't have played the victim card when you weren't the victim the whole time. Now, John, again, let me rephrase this. Johnny's not a victim either. What Johnny is a victim is of defamation and slander, which he was proven in court, by the way. This isn't anything that we're making up anymore, by the way. This was proven by court that Amber Heard intentionally defamed Johnny Depp. And this is all, again, coming back to you because you try to mess with someone's life, someone's livelihood, and he did lose money from it. Now, I'm not a big Johnny fan, by the way. I just want to clarify that. He's not innocent. There's obviously that clip of him where he was acting enraged, and Amber probably felt scared around him. But I feel like the same thing applied for both of them. And ultimately, now a court's proven it. So it's not like I'm saying anything new or different. But I just want to say this, and I want to say this to also everyone watching this. Don't get in a shit slinging contest and be surprised that shit's being thrown at you. That's the number one thing in life. Treat others the way you want to be treated. I'm fine if Amber went out of her way to say, me and Johnny didn't work out. He did some things, I did some things. That's it. That's all you got to do. Because I know your relationship was public prior to that. But don't come in and pretend to be a victim for a long time. Get exposed. Then be surprised at people around you. Especially after they didn't want you in the movie, but they were kind of forced in to keep you in the movie. Don't be surprised that all of this is happening and they're frustrated with you. Because you had no business being on that set. And don't be surprised when they shortened your role. By the way, I think she was a great Mera in the first Aquaman film. I have the first Aquaman movie here on Blu-ray, I think. Yeah, I don't... Where is it? Oh, here it is. I have it right here. The Aquaman movie Blu-ray. I actually got this right when it came out, and it shows me a sneak peek of Shazam. This came out in 2018. I got this like beginning of 2019. We got obviously Amber Heard right here. So, yeah, I mean, it's a lesson to, I think, every person out there. Don't lie. Just say the truth. And because the thing is, and I really believe this, the truth eventually prevails. The truth eventually comes out. Look at what happened with Jeffrey Epstein. By the way, I'm not saying Amber is as bad as these people, obviously. Look what happened with Jeffrey Epstein, Harvey Weinstein, R. Kelly, EDP, James Charles. The truth eventually came out because the truth can't be contained. I believe the Nazis hid the Holocaust. I believe the concentration camps. I believe it wasn't known, at least from the general public outside of Germany and most of Europe. I believe it wasn't even known that they were concentration camps. Eventually that came out to the light and said, oh shit, Hitler was more evil than we thought he was. Things come out eventually. The truth prevails. The truth comes out. So what I got to tell everyone right now watching is, if you're lying, be prepared that one day that lie is going to come burst in the bubble. That's why here on this channel, I say the truth. I say what I genuinely believe. And when I tell you guys about my lifetime or my stories or everything, these are the truth. Because I don't know, maybe one day the truth for some reason gets broken out. Let's say I make up a big lie. That lie may eventually get exposed and I just won't know it. The same applies with Amber Heard. You lied. Eventually the truth came out. And that's something that you're going to have to deal with now for the rest of your life. You ruined your own acting career. You ruined all this. But worst of all, you try to bring someone down in that moment or before that moment. You try to take down someone's career, and then all of a sudden now your career is down. It's not their fault. That's your own fault. That is your doing. What you put out in the world eventually hits you back. If you're out there being a shit person, a shitty human being, eventually that shit's gonna be thrown back at you. And that's the truth of life and society. But that's all I gotta say. Do I feel bad for Amber? I feel bad that she was in that relationship with Johnny, for sure. But I don't feel bad for the way Mamoa or Juan or Warner Bros. Treated her. At the end of the day, you had a billionaire that helped you make money. And also, Elon, if you cared, you'd have just sent her that money. All right? Elon, you have more money than Warner Bros. Combined. You could have just sent her that money and then fucked right off. I don't see why you have to interfere with Aquaman in order to make your ex happy. I'm assuming they're not really exes. I assume they're friends with benefits. I assume that's what they are now. I don't know, because to me Elon is a rich man. I doubt someone's not gonna want to stay with Elon. Like, I feel like Elon, if you notice a lot of rich guys, they'll be with a lot of women. I think that's the same thing with Elon. I think Elon loves, being rich and being able to have all these women, especially because he was probably a dork growing up. So now that he's a dork with money, obviously he's gonna be pulling. He's gonna be busting everywhere. Just, what is it called? Um, I don't know. I couldn't think of the term, but anyways, that's all I gotta say. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you all enjoyed it. If you're gonna watch Aquaman 2, I don't mind it. I thought the trailer looked good, but still, I'm not interested in it. I'm pretty broke right now, and I'd rather spend that money on more important things rather than a ticket to Aquaman. Right? I know I watched Saw X recently, but at least that looked far better because I think Saw X was great. But that's all I gotta say. Thank you guys for watching. Y'all let me know in the comments what you think about this. Do you agree, disagree? I know there's gonna be a lot of Amber Heard supporters coming in, being like, "Oh, you did." I don't give a fuck, bro. All right. Look, me personally, I like my pillows shit free. All right. Actually, no, Amber Heard, you can go shit on my pillow if you want. I'm just kidding, but someone's gonna clip that out now. But anyways, look, I like my pillow shit free, alright? My pillow, I like it clean, alright? I actually kind of like it when it's cold. I just realized that. I don't know, but anyways, that's all I gotta say. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you all enjoyed it. Please don't shit on people's pillows. I feel like that's the bare minimum. And if you're in a negative relationship like that, I recommend you just get out. And when you get out, don't shit talk, alright? Just move on with your life, alright? Amber, you're an attractive woman. You're successful. You've made your money. Don't see why you got to clinge on to that Johnny past, all right? You literally got to hook up with Elon Musk, all right? So it's almost like, bro, just move on. Just you made that Aquaman money, all right? That's all you need. That's all you need. Yeah, I'll see y'all in the next one, and peace out. Ciao.